Well, unsightly scars can make people self-conscious and affect their confidence, but there are solutions. And Halloween is a time when a lot of people get scars while carving pumpkins. So we thought this is the perfect time to address this. So we are joined by a doctor who is a board-certified plastic surgeon and leading expert when it comes to scars. Dr. Khan, thank you for being here.
Good morning, Tati. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. So we're going to start with some before and after pictures of one of your patients. And now this patient suffered a dog bite.
So this is a very close friend of mine who called me up and said the night before he got bit by one of his daughter's dogs. And he said he certainly could have used me last night. So I asked him, come right away. I need to go ahead and revise this scar. This is a deep penetrating scar that goes down to the cartilage and has the propensity to get infected as well, and obviously needs to be more aesthetically pleasing. So I took him to the emergency room and then the operating room, and I was able to revise the scar, and this is just 10 days out from the initial injury.
That's amazing. It seems to have completely disappeared.
Well, there are a lot of things that need to be undertaken when it comes to as far as irrigating the wound, making sure that the bacterial burden has been addressed. Also, the technical proficiency that it takes to undertake to allow for a version of the scar so that when it settles, it is very aesthetically pleasing.
So it's an art.
Yes.
It's an art. Okay, so let's go through some of the things that we have here on the table. Because Halloween is a time where a lot of people are getting injured while carving pumpkins. What should they do if they do get injured?
So the first order of business is staying away from these big knives. Very dangerous, especially in the hands of young kids. You do not want to do this. You certainly want to invest in something like this, a small pumpkin carving kit.
Yes, let's get a shot
and
of
something, this is going to be very, very good investment so that you can do it nicely and have fun doing it, and certainly doing it very safely.
Yeah, safely is key. And I agree with you. Whenever I see people with the big knives, especially children or even adults, you have to move it so awkwardly, it seems like you could easily injure yourself.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So, but now here's one thing that I noticed that very much caught me off guard. This is hydrogen peroxide, but you say this is a no-no.
So this actually helps clean the wound, but also at the same time hurts the good cells. So you do not want to be using it. When you get hurt, and if this is a superficial cut, you want to just go ahead and use the good old clean soap and water, clean it off, and then apply a thin film of Neosporin. So that adds a nice film, antibacterial, and over the next 5 to 7 days, that scar should essentially close up on itself, and the skin cells are going to cover the wound definitively.
Okay, so now let's talk about the difference between a superficial scar and a deep cut. How do we know the difference?
So we all have had paper cuts. So something very similar to that, you know it's not gone deep into the fatty layer. If you have penetrated that layer, and it doesn't take much, as you can realize. If you see that you have numbness, you are not able to bend your fingers, or if you have more blood than what you would like, then you will know deep down within you need to go to the nearest emergency room so you can get the advanced care from a board-certified plastic and hand surgeon.
Okay, okay. So now let's talk about scars after they've healed.
Yes, so scars are very interesting. They are a body's natural way of healing an injury. So everyone heals differently. And the scars normally take up to 1 year to truly settle. So as you can see, we can do a scar revision in the immediate period, usually within the first 12 to 24 hours. If not, then we let sit tight on the scar for up to a year because it has so many different phases, the maturation phase ultimately, which can take up to a year. You can always revise a scar, and that will allow for us, i.e. as board-certified plastic surgeons, to hide the scar in the shadows and the shades of the face, the wrinkles, so that you can have a camouflage of a scar so it doesn't basically cause any long-term aesthetically unpleasing looks.
That's brilliant. Well, it's good to know. To schedule your appointment with Dr. Khan and to learn more about his practice and services, visit the website executiveplasticsurgeon.com or call 734-419-1615. Dr. Khan, thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.